So we got our linesmans down. If you don't want to use linesmans, don't. You can use your level. Got your tape measure ready? The mark is lined up perfectly. Let's bend this sucker. All right, here we go. We'll pull it up. We want to keep foot pressure, and I want to stay in frame, so I'm sliding up a little bit. All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to be learning how to do a kick with a 90. Many reasons why you do it. Obviously, if you have to get off the ground to a side wall or whatever the case may be, you may be trying to go over something that's low, or just get up into the wall to continue your pipe on, to your other pipe, to your box, or wherever you're going. So this is gonna be a pretty easy, basic video. We're gonna try to remember, because we've already learned how to bend the 90s, get the measurements, right? If you haven't done that, you need to go back and watch these videos. You also need to make sure that you keep in mind that when you're bending, there is a shrink factor. So it's super important for you to remember exactly how to bend this. Now, there are many people that will tell you that there is a formula for kicking, and there very well may be. The very easiest way to do this, and I'm not a big fan of couplings. If anybody knows me, they always know that I say couplings show weakness. But this is an easy way to do it. I'm gonna show you, it's super simple. So I'm gonna pretend like on this wall behind us, that we're just coming from the floor, we're going up on the wall. Now, we're not gonna say that there's an end in sight. This is just a piece of pipe. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend like it's just a full stick. We're gonna bend a short 90 and we're gonna kick it up. Not a short 90, maybe like a foot. And we're gonna kick it up. The second part of that is I'll show you how to get the measurement. If there was a piece of pipe at any designated area, like you're coming this way and you gotta kick it up, which I'll show you in a minute, how to get that exact measurement, because that is important, obviously, right? So, all right, let's go ahead and get this started. Like I said, if you've not watched any of the other 90 videos, you definitely need to go back and watch those because it does help with this. So let's carry on. Let's get on the floor over here real quick. Let's bend this and get this video over with. Now I want to go ahead and start talking about this right here. Now, as you see right here, right where these two boards are, I put these here for a reason. So a lot of people assume that you can just take a 90 right through here and kick it if you want to get on top of this. Well, if you're going to come from this plane on the ground to this plane up on the board, you have to put an offset. There's no way to just kick your 90, and I'll show you here what I'm talking about after we bend the 90. And the reason for that is because you're going to have a plane that's going to raise up. Well, you want the 90 to lay flat, so you're going to have to bend it back down, so you're going to have to put an offset down there. But we're not doing that right now. We're just going to get up here on this board here, and we're going to just come up with a random measurement here in a few minutes. We're going to show you. I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to come from this floor. I'm going to kick it up here on this wall. And like I said, don't know the measurement yet. We'll just, when I get down here with the tape measure, we'll figure it out. But we'll come up here real quick with a 90, we'll kick it up, and then we'll keep on going down the wall. So it's pretty easy once we figure out exactly what we need. First, we got to bend the 90, so let's go ahead and get started with that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you something. So this is just a regular old kick that we bent the other day. I was showing the kids what I'm talking about. If you're wanting to come into this kick like this, what I was telling you about, we have to have the offset. As you see, there's a lot of gap under here. I don't know if you can really tell now. I'll bring you down here in a second. But a lot of electricians will leave that, and I guess it's okay if you're really okay with that. Me, myself, I wouldn't be okay with that because I'd want it to lay completely flat. Now, there is a gap. Like I said, I'll bring you down here in a second to show you. So this is the reason why you have to, if you're going to lay flat on something like this, you have to offset it. That way, when it comes up, it lays completely flat. Now let me bring you down here and show you what I'm talking about. Can you see what I'm talking about right here? How there's a lot of gap under there. I mean, the only way to make it even remotely semi-flat, you'd have to pull it all the way to the very edge. Now, if you're gonna do that, then there's no problem. Because see, you're not in your 90. But when you put it, you want to be in the middle or whatever, the higher you go, the more space you're going to see under there. It looks like terrible. So that is why you'd have to offset that. All right, so once again, everything's cleared out here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to kick this up. So we've got to keep in mind that we have to know how much it is from the floor up to where we're going to go. So I say we go about 7 inches. Now, that's where we want the bottom of this to be at. So we're gonna come off this floor and we're gonna go 7 inches. Just a measurement that I just came up with. So we're gonna bend a 90 about, let's say, 10-inch 90, going this way. Actually, we will bend the 90 at 17 inches, all right? We'll bend a 17-inch 90. That way, when we come up, we'll catch this and we'll catch this. So 17-inch 90, we'll go 7 inches up. All right, so for a 17-inch 90, if you remember, we're using 1/2 inch. Does anybody remember what the take-up is for the 1/2 inch? Anybody? Well, it's 5 inches. Now, we can do this one of two ways. We can do it where you don't use the math, just use a tape measure. This is kind of like our little refresher from the other video, or 17 take away 5, which will be 11. 17 take away 5 equals 12. Do both ways so I can show you. This is like a refresher from the other video. If you hold over 5 inches, because that is your take-up, we're using Sharpie. Sorry if you don't like it. This is for the video purposes. You mark it right here at 17 while you're holding over 5. All right, and that shows you that'd be a 17-inch 90. Now, if we were to take the math away, 17 minus 5 equals 12. See? So either way, one's just as good as the next, but you have to subtract that 5 inches because that is your take-up from your 90. All right, having said that, I have my mark. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bend this 90. I'm gonna get a level. We're gonna bend it up. I'm gonna show you what to do. All right, let's go ahead and bend this. We're gonna put that mark right there, right at our arrow. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there. So it looks exactly like that. I better do it like this so you can see, huh? So the arrow lines up. I'm not gonna bend this standing up. I'm gonna put it on the ground here, but I just want you to see how this arrow and this line lines up. So let's go ahead and bend it on the ground. I'm gonna flip it over so I can keep in frame. And we can bend this thing. All right, here we go. So foot pressure is the key, like I told you before in the videos. Foot pressure is the key on your bender. Let's go ahead and get a level and we'll see what it looks like. I know this floor is level, so I don't have to try to level the floor up. So I need a little bit more. Damn near perfect. Let's put it on the table and see if it's 17. All right, forgive me for the stuff that's on this table. This is a working table in progress, so we're gonna see if we do have a 17-inch. Man, that's like DBA. Does anybody know? If you do, leave me a comment down below and let me know what DBA stands for. If you've been on my other channel, you'll know exactly what that is. That is exactly 17. I mean, it may be a 30-second off, but these benders are accurate. So let's go ahead and talk about the kick now. So there is a rule of thumb when you are bending your kicks up. So the rule of thumb, and this is not set in stone, you won't find this in any book, it's just kind of what every electrician kind of does. So for every inch or whatever you go back, so let's just say for our instance, for our 7-inch offset, or kick rather, we always want to go back at least 2 times that height. Reason why is because if you bend your kick right here, this high on the thing, you're gonna have one heck of an incline. So you wanna go back at least double of what your inches are. So for us, we have a 7-inch kick up is what we wanted. We can go 8, whatever you guys want to. I'm going with 7 right now. So we want to go up 7 inches. So we're gonna take our measurement from here and we're gonna come back 14 inches. That'll give us a lesser of a kick. Now, having said that, if you have to come quick up here in the front, sometimes you do. Sometimes there's something a pipe or something you have to get under right here, or maybe even right here, that you have to go like as close to the 90 as you can. But if you've got all this open area like this, like there's nothing here, well, you're here first. So bend your thing, do your thing. Bend yours however you want to. Whatever you want to do it, and make sure if you got another one beside of it that you match it. We'll talk about matching bends later, but not right now. Right now we're just stuck on one piece of pipe. We're gonna bend it back. We are gonna come back 14 inches because we want a 7-inch kick. I'm gonna lay this pipe right up against this board. I'm gonna take my tape measure. I'm gonna pull out 14 inches. Just like I did right there. And I'm gonna mark at 14 inches. Now, that tells me that is where I need my arrow at. If it was 8 inches, I'd go back 16. If it was 9 inches, I'd go back 20, because 9 times 2 is 20. So, anyway, we're gonna go back 14 inches, because we wanna come up 7 inches. Now, we also wanna make sure that when we put our pipe up here, that we know that at 7 inches, that's the bottom of our pipe. So that's about 7 inches right there. So we want to make sure that from the floor up, the bottom of our pipe is at 7 inches. That's where I designated this. We always want to go to the bottom of your conduit, pipe, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, EMT, but that's how we want to do it. Now, I'm going to show you how to lay it in this bender so it's level, and when you pull it up, everything is mint. All right, I'm going to try to stay on my knees so I don't have to be standing up. So what we want to do is we want to take our bender, even if you don't mark your pipe, you always want to make sure that there is a mark. And here's the reason why, because if you don't have enough kick in your pipe to begin with, like let's say you want 7 inches or 4 inches or 3 inches, but you only bend it, let's just say you want to bend a 4 inch, and you only bend a 3 1/4, well, you try to put this bender back in the same spot, the bender typically will seat exactly where you had it. Not every time, especially when you're in a hurry and your journeyman's yelling at you. So if you just put a mark there, reference a point on the bender, that way you know every time if it's wrong, you'll know to put it right there in the spot. So now we know we want this kick to come up. So let's go ahead and we'll put our EMT bender on the ground. We want to line that mark up with our arrow. Just like so. Now, I'm going to show you a trick that a lot of electricians do. I do it all the time. You can do however you want to. This is the way I do it, almost exclusively. Now, for a short bend like this, I probably wouldn't. I'm going to show you anyway, just the way I do it, because if this piece was, 35 inches, you're going to have a little bit of weight, and you're going to try to have to hold that up. See, you're going to want to, right now it's super easy, because it's a very short. This is a very short 90, but I'm going to show you what I usually typically always do. Now I'll tell you, they sell you racketeers will sell this, not this, but a kicking mechanism where you slide under your pipe, which is excellent. But to me, that's just another thing you have to keep up with. You're going to have your linesmans pretty much all times. So if you just take your linesmans and you put them right here at the end, chances are it's going to be level, and you're off just a little bit, but you will never ever ever see that. And by the time you get your pipe set in here, it'll be almost perfect. Now, I mean, when I say you're off a little bit, I mean you are off just a little bit. So a lot of electricians will use that, and you can actually use the handles, and then it's exactly perfect. So usually when you throw your Kleins down, it usually lands on the metal, and that's where you let. But if you put it on your handles, it's literally perfect. At least on mine is. I can't say on everybody's is. So we're gonna put it back in here, make sure we're good. All right. Now, a lot of people will, before I do this, a lot of people will do this. They'll pull out, 7 inches, they'll put it on the ground. There are a lot of different people I see do, they'll flip the tape measure around or whatever, but keep in mind that on Klein tape measures, said I thought, okay, so if it doesn't say it, I'm still looking here. If it doesn't say, which it probably does somewhere, I'm not seeing it. You want to know how much this is. This is exactly 3 inches. Okay? We need 7 inches, so if you put this out to 4 inches and you let it sit like that, that's 7 inches from the floor up. Our bottom of our pipe needs to sit literally flush with level rather with the bottom of that tape measure. So let's go ahead and put it back in. So we got our linesmans down. If you don't want to use linesmans, don't. You can use your level. Got your tape measure ready? The mark is lined up perfectly. Let's bend this sucker. All right, here we go. We'll pull it up. We want to keep foot pressure, and I want to stay in frame, so I'm sliding up a little bit. Okay, now we got a magnet on this, obviously, so we'll move this over now. Now, this is where you have to make sure that you look down at your level. So that's level, but I'm not high enough. So we'll pull a little bit more. That's pretty damn good. Now, if I went too far, after we bend this, I will show you how to get it out if I went too far. Because, you know, sometimes you bend and you're like, oh my gosh, you bend 9 inches, you bend 11 inches or whatever. So you might have to take some out. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, it is level. It is the correct measurement. Here's a piece of conduit, pipe, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put it here. Actually, I want it over here. I'm going to put the level on so I can show you. And it is, oh, come over here, camera. It is no trick photography. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm going to try to bring it down here because I think it's important to see how perfect it is, where people always say, oh, it's perfect, and then they turn the camera off. But I want you to see. Let me make sure I'm online. Yeah, I'm online. It is literally dead balls accurate. DBA, okay? So there you have it. It's literally that easy. And you have your perfect 90. So at the beginning I told you we would just tell you how, I would show you how to figure out if you had a box coming into there. Literally all you have to do is after you get your measurement is you're gonna have to just cut it off. Easiest way to do it. So let's say you did bend this and it was too much. So there is an easy way to get this literally out. You can put it in your bender, or you can do what most of us electricians do. It's super easy. I have the camera up high now. I'm gonna have to show you looking down so you can see what it is. You know, you're gonna have to go slow with it because if you're not slow, you can take too much out and then you're gonna be putting it back in, and you could potentially bend your piece of conduit somewhere where you don't want to bend it. So let me show you the easiest way that I found to get it out. Like I said, you can put it in your bender, you can pull it back down if you want, or you can just do this. We don't know how much we need out, so we just know it's too much. So we're gonna put our 90 down, we're gonna put our foot on it, we're gonna make sure we're stable somewhere. We're gonna put our foot right here in the middle of the bend, and we're just gonna push down until we figure out. You don't want to slam it down. Some people I've seen do that. I mean, just don't do that. Just push it down easy. So you push it down, there. Now it should be good for whatever you need. Go back and measure, make sure that you took enough out, and then you can go down that road. That's the easiest way to get it out. All right, I'm not gonna lie when I tell you this. You know, I've literally tried to figure out a formula. I've not seen any single person figure it out. I've not seen it in any books. Just how much when you kick it up do you lose? Because I bent them, flattened them out, did the measurements. They're all different because you're not going at a certain degree. You're just going until that measurement meets up there. So your best bet is always just to get a piece of pipe and then measure a little longer than what you need because it is going to shrink up. Now this particular one, it started out at like almost 50 inches. By the time we were done bending the 7-inch up, it was 48 1/4, I believe it was. So it did shrink a little bit. There's no set math that I know of, and please, by all means, I am open for discussion. Leave me down in the comments if you do know exactly what that would be, because it's gonna be different. You cannot say it's gonna be exactly the same every single time. If there is, I wanna know about it. I'm a fairly decent conduit bender and I just can't figure that out. So, and nobody I've ever talked to, not even the best conduit runners that I personally know, they just say, bend on piece, pull it up and go. Now, after you get your conduit though, I did tell you at the beginning that we're gonna figure out how to get, like let's say you got a box at X number. Well, we're gonna say it's at 24 inches. So I'm gonna show you how to get this 24 inches exactly. Super easy. I like to stay off the floor if possible, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. Now, Obviously, you're gonna put a box offset more than likely if you're going into a box. You're not gonna lose enough to worry about adding just a teeny weeny bit, so just put it at, we're gonna say it's 3 foot from the floor to the end of your pipe. This is the easiest way to do it that I found, unless you wanna stay on your knees on the floor. If you don't like me, I'm gonna show you the easy way to do it. I'm gonna show you both ways, but I'm gonna show you the way that I do it first, and then I'll show you the floor. All right, so the easiest way to do this is to pick your pipe back up off the floor, and you wanna put this long piece that that you're going whatever way it's going towards whatever, and you want to lay it flat up against your wall. Then all you got to do is go from the floor up to 3 foot, which is right here. Put your mark, boom, cut it. Easiest way to do it. Now, if you're going to be on the floor and you're going to do it, this is the easy way on the floor. It's basically exactly the same thing, except now you're on the floor. So all you got to do is put your pipe where you need to be. Pull you out to 3 foot and mark your pipe right there. Boom. That's the easiest way you do it. And that, my friends, is that. Super easy. Please smash that thumbs up, guys. It does mean the world to me. It also helps my channel grow to get out there more so more people can see these videos. I will do so many more videos, guys. I need some feedback from you guys. I need you to leave a comment down below. Tell me what you want to see. Is there a bending video you want to see? I'm going to be doing some series, parallel circuits, combination circuits, all kinds of stuff on the board. Like I said, I am a teacher, so I will be doing those videos, teaching you guys how to do that stuff. Super simple, super easy. I'm not going to complicate it like a lot of these people do. I teach my kids how to do it super easy, super fast. They get it right almost every time. As long as they pay attention, you do the same thing, you have no problem. Guys, this is your second opportunity to smash that thumbs up, guys. Please. Go down there and do it. Subscribe if you haven't, so you get every video that I upload. If you want to see how to make the perfect offset, click right here in the video. It'll be coming up. You can meet me in that video. That video is like the 3rd or 4th video in a series of bending videos. So check it out. Go back through all my videos. Leave me a comment down below if you want to see something, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day.